See if it worked. It worked! Yay! Welcome back, everyone, to a new year and the same old shit we've been doing for like 3 months. Um, we are happy to have y'all back. I am super stoked for what we've got coming this year, including very soon a couple of our other peeps who you haven't seen in a while starting new campaigns. We've got the resurgence of some uh, channel, I can't think of the word right now, streams that were initially part of the startup of this that are coming back.
Dungeon Brawl?
Dungeon Brawl is going to be making a comeback. But yeah, thanks for coming with us into the new year. If you haven't already, please follow the channel because we're like 15 away from 100 followers, which is crazy to me. If you have the money for it, please consider subscribing. Don't forget that you can throw bits into the chat at any point. We are working on getting stuff like emotes and more sub badges out there. So just be on the lookout for that stuff. Other than that, we've got an episode of Mini Paint and Chill this week. I think we're just going to do miscellaneous stuff from our horde. And yeah, back in Stylus on Sunday, maybe, because I'm not going to be here, so I'll just leave you.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we are not going to have an episode next week. I just wanted to get back into the GM's chair because it's been a while and it's been chaotic and hectic over break. So thank you for joining us. I think that is it. I think that's everything. We kept in touch over the holiday break and it was fun, crazy, and thank God it's 2021. Am I right? Anyway, so back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Last we left off 3 weeks ago, the party as a whole got back to their balloon after finding out the information that they needed and kind of still missing some bits and pieces of what they actually needed to get to their seemingly final step and destination in this journey. Splitting up into two groups, one of which took the balloon through the skies back to Ambrosia, and the other which took a kind of pinpoint route, made their way to Saber, and then finally back to Ambrosia earlier than the other crew. You all gathered information about this area within the southern Penumbra Range known as the Halls of Bonbadir, apparently an old dwarven city or stronghold of some sort that was where this creature who had these flowers, or hopefully has these flowers, is. Running into a odd, weird gnomish fellow with a very similar accent. The rest of you made your way to Ambrosia, fell asleep for the night, and can now choose to do what you will to prepare, get ready, or what have you. As the rain is coming down on the outskirts of the vineyard, it wakes you up slightly, but the day is yours to do with as you will.
I have things to be building.
Like?
I still have to finish my ring system.
Oh, yeah. If you want to work on that a little bit while you're here, it probably is going to take more time than what you have currently, but if you'd like to work on it while you have some downtime.
Whatever progress I can get. That's where I'm going to be.
Okay. Let's see. You've made a stable, seemingly prototype of the bandlit
The master ring.
Yeah, the master ring, and also the other rings that you would be giving to the rest of your party. So now it's just, I'll say, probably a few step process of trying to start to figure out how to take magical essence from one space into another. So if you want to make a Arcana, just roll check overall.
I didn't set up my dice, y'all. Ooh, first roll 2021. How we gonna do, boys? That's a natural 19.
It's not a bad roll.
My Arcana's real bad. That's 27 total.
Okay.
Or 27 total, yes.
So I'll say you guys will take a few days. You guys can figure out how much you want exactly that you want to take. But over a couple day period, you start to just write out the general aspects of spells that you know that transfer or move through yourself into another individual, and you start to kind of take the material components of those and practice with them on Rook or anyone who is willing to come and join you, as Ashter is apt to
Did I bring up the possibility of requiring like a coin slot for me to put in a coin to get spells done? Okay, I guess I haven't brought that.
You did bring up something.
We'll talk about it later.
But over the next 2 days, you start to kind of understand the process of how the magic kind of moves from you to the other individual, and write down the beginning ideas of what could equate to taking that, casting it into something, and moving it through just kind of the natural weave of the universe and around. But you do make a pretty good headway. It's definitely, like I said before, it's definitely going to take some time, but you further your want to do so by doing this. So
I get real gross and sweaty.
yes. There are a few times where each of you kind of worry because you start to hear loud noises coming from the general vicinity of where Gideon's workshop is. And you go and check on him just occasionally just to make sure. But he's fine. Rook's a little singed, and there's a couple times Ashter's a little worse for wear, but yeah. The rest of you, like I said, you can take as much time. You don't need to just be a day. If you want to do something over a period of time, feel free to do that. Yes, that is rain sound. Whoever's wondering.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna just chill out, I suppose, after we get back.
Okay.
Probably hang out in the Ravenry.
Okay. You're welcomed back. There's small work to be done, and now that the general aspect of your abilities has increased, you're kind of actually brought into a new role. There's a few, as the new year has begun, and the holidays have passed, and you're technically not into spring yet, but it's starting to warm up slightly. You take on more of a resurrection role now, with the pieces being the material components, being readily available to you. You're brought in and you practice both revivify spells and up to what your level is able to cast on specific individuals. And it is harrowing and it is tiring, but you do get some practice in on it. And general malaise over the next few days as you guys try to figure out what it is that you want to do. before you head out. So, Brian, Zinnia, you guys doing anything?
I am avoiding all magic.
I want to take my my toy that I got.
Little
from,
monkey.
Oh
that weird little gnome. I want to wrap it up in some older paper and make it look like it was a holiday gift. And I want to try to make it look like it is, at least the wrapping is a little older than it actually is.
Okay.
And whenever I'm done with that, I'd like to go over to wherever the post office is. Is there a post office?
Yeah, there's a general post around town, and not everyone is able to send things magically.
And I'd actually like to mark the package with my old address.
Okay. Your old address. Prior to
Yes.
Yes.
My old address. Yes, prior to everything.
Okay.
So I want to go to the post office with that package.
Okay.
Hi. Sorry, I think I've had something delivered to me by mistake.
Yeah. There's like a grizzly half-orc who's just kind of scratching the back of his head. Let me see. So you don't live at this address?
No, it's I don't no, I don't live there. I was just cleaning up a few things and I just found this just kind of lying around. I think it's been there for I honestly don't know how long, but I just wanted to make sure that it got to whoever it needed to get to.
All right. He kind of puts it back up on there. There's like a large stack of like cubbies behind him that he just like looks and kind of pauses for a second. Like, eh. Since you're not sending it, doesn't cost you anything. It's just a missend. Although I haven't seen this one in here before, but oh well. Will that be all?
I just wanted to make, that that's everything. Thank you. Do you know when that'll be delivered? I just, it looks like it's special from the wrapping paper. I just want to make sure that whoever gets it.
Well, it is the
properly.
morning time, so you'll probably have someone pick up stuff later today, and it's possible it could be delivered today or tomorrow morning.
Right. Thank you. That's good.
No problem.
Better than the real life post office. Shit.
Yeah.
This is
We'll
the
get picked up at
fantasies we're
6
playing
and
out.
maybe there.
These are the fantasies we're playing out. Effective infrastructure.
All right, I'm done.
All right.
I might have a drink with Zaz at some point, but not talk about anything plot related.
Okay. So yeah, easy enough. You walk back through the rain. It's nice. I mean, you guys have been out of town a bunch recently, but the low light and the magical neon signs that kind of litter the streets as you walk through it's kind of a warm comfort, especially after just like all the recent events. And you just kind of There's like that small bead of hope that kind of sits inside of you, and it's nice. It's just, it's comforting. You who are trying to stay away from magic have to take care of your plants in the natural way, which is just water. However, there is another druid on site, and she does come up and check on you every once in a while, helps you with stuff, talks to you about how the general layout of the vineyard is going, says she hopes that they'll have a good harvest this year. She's like, I hope the wine will be good. Just general banter and chatter. Kyron and
Oh, I'm watching the new Guy Like a Hawk.
yeah, I
episode,
was
by the
just
way.
about to say, Kyron and Brian, the two of you who are interested, you do spot that one gentleman. He stays on property, but he does tend to go into town every once in a while. Like you'll ask where he is, and he's just not available. Or someone will be like, "Oh yeah, he just headed into town for a quick minute." But other than that, there's not really no real strange activity.
How do you pronounce his name again?
Sam. It's like Sam, but with an N,
Okay.
and it's spelled Sanne.
Okay. Yeah, I usually write pronunciations down, and I did not. So
It happens.
This holiday
know,
break
so
really
real
fucked me
good,
over because
y'all.
I have no idea who that is.
You saw him around
he's
too.
an ASMR.
No,
And he's very suspicious.
he is
He
a
was a Goliath.
no.
Oh.
He's not a Goliath either.
But he has.
We're 0 for 3 right now.
Yeah,
I
he's
wait, no, he's like a genasi.
yes.
Okay,
I wrote down like
that sounds
5
about right.
different things.
He was a gray-skinned individual, and he did talk to you about it. He told you that he was a genasi of the having to do with the earth elemental plane. He had like gray, ashy, dusty skin, but he was very strong, and seemed to be brought around for most of the heavy lifting stuff that needed to be done. Your druid had been doing it for a while, but even she was happy to have someone to help out. So, but yeah, that's about it. About the day after you guys wake up, that tent that you went to, Brian, with the interesting character is gone. It's like, it's as if it wasn't even there. There's like no trace
Figures.
scent. It seemed he had other pressing things to do, or people to get back to. Is there any information you guys want to gather? Anything you want to try and get a hold of before you go?
I'm putting all my effort towards
Oh.
getting my stuff built
Mhm.
as soon as possible.
About the third day in,
I'm
as you get
just gonna
go ahead.
keep doing what I'm doing.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying I'm not gonna really do anything.
Okay. About the third day in, to your guys's kind of just general rest, and being home, the rain lets up, and you guys do get your one day of the month where it doesn't rain and it's light outside, which is a wonderful reprieve. The the covering for the vineyard, the vines and grapes themselves, has actually been mechanically changed to where, by going through each one of them, it can shift like a lever, and it like releases them to like tilt so that it lets the sunlight in rather than covers and makes the water drip off. Which is a cool new addition that's been added recently.
That's clever. I wish I thought of that.
Well, it seems that the owner or co-owner of this vineyard is sought after for some specific jewels or material components by some of the more mechanically gifted individuals in town, and their payment was to help out around the vineyard. So, speaking of, is there anything you guys want to do to the vineyard? Because there's a heckin' bunch of stuff you can do with that too.
Due to the what?
The vineyard itself. You can add.
I don't have a green thumb. I don't know what the hell to do.
Well, you don't have to garden. You can add defenses. You can add some kind of gardening increase, like
Has there
irrigation system.
been any sort of danger, like evident in the surrounding area past when the giants last attacked?
No, it's more for like precautionary stuff. Like if someone were to try and come rob the vineyard, because there has been a lull in the gang violence within the city recently, and you gather from what you guys had talked about with Sev that there was some kind of truce that was thrown about, which is why he left the city, to actually deliver some kind of peace treaty to the head of the Thieves Guild. But never hurts to...
Defenses sound like a waste of money.
You guys do still have the stable kind of like 3/4 built. There still needs to be some stuff done on it, but that was Astra's job. He can do that over the break if you guys want.
That's probably more up to him, but I don't know what else he would be doing.
I
Yeah.
mean, he's not here, so we
Yeah,
can make that decision
fair.
for him.
I will roll.
Okay.
I have
Go
a
ahead, Mel.
feeling he would have gone with that anyways.
Yeah, he would doing a lot
I say
of
I'll roll,
carpentry
but I
stuff.
don't know what to roll. So
Roll a... I think he's proficient in carpenter's tools.
I should probably pull up his character sheet then. Shouldn't I?
So just roll a carpenter tools check.
If only he had double proficiency in all tools like I do. Well, that's a nat 20, so...
Dang, you rolling good so far.
You're rolling so well tonight.
Yeah.
I know, it's the new year. Just big year energy.
Over the next week or so, however long you guys want to take, but it sounds like you guys are just getting some good time in to rest and recuperate, get some of those wounds looked after. He ends up finishing it up. It's rather well done. It bears some resemblance to the work that he did on the balloon, the base of it. But the stable's set. There's a couple of, out from the outlying farms, there's a couple of rather strong oxen that are picked up at an auction and brought back to be used as sower and tillers on the fields along the terraces for the vineyard.
So it was an oxen auction?
It was an oxen auction.
That's really hard to say.
How
often do they have oxen auctions?
Not too often.
Oh, okay.
But it is quiet. And like I said to Brian before, it is a odd reprieve. You guys have jumped back into the general malaise of things, and while the pain still subsides with everything going on with Euzinia, you manage it better because you haven't been using magic. and the nights are comfortable to be in a bed. It's warm for the most part, as you guys are, in the rain and damp and underground. But there's a couple of small soirees that are had as the new year has begun, just talking about what the expectations are for the vineyard for the next year, business proposals. Kyron, there's a few things that Sora needs you to sign off on. Small paperwork pieces that have to be sent into the local guild masters. But it's odd. It's with all the adventuring that's been had, the weird general bullshit of the day kind of feels as if it's 6 months prior and you guys are dealing with nothing and just going about your days living next to each other, for those of you that were there at the beginning.
I'll hang out with Zinnia more. Just to make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, friend.
Feeling okay.
It's around like the week that you guys have been there that the pain starts to grow, like slightly, but enough to make you uncomfortable, and you start to realize that it's probably time to start preparations for this trip.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll convey that to Kyron, since Kyron is the one that's been on top of my pain. So.
Yeah. Like a hospice or caretaker. Yeah. Kyron's just like, what's your pain level today?
It's the frowny face with the tears now.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's just awesome. I'll go get the group and sit everybody down.
Ashter, surprisingly, has given Fenris a bath, and started to implement the smell good tactic into Fenris, where he's found any manner of garden herbs, kitchen herbs, flowers, or anything, and he's just tying it into Fenris's fur. So Fenris currently smells like a spice rack, but it's a whole hell of a lot better than how he used to smell. And it's a nice change. But as the time inches closer, are there any preparations that you guys want to make before you head that way? And are you going by balloon? Are you going by land? What is the plan on that?
My preparations is I have to save my dice tray, so I'll be right back. I just spilled my entire drink all on it, so be right back.
Oops.
No! Just be like, hey, Wormwood, please, can I? Oh.
So even after another week, I'm still chugging away, not
make
there
another
yet.
Make another Arcana check.
Okay.
I didn't know how long you guys are going to be, so I just made it a couple days thing. But if that's all you're doing, which I'm assuming it is, then...
Well, that's a natural 17, so that one's 25.
Okay. Still very good.
If I have to keep rolling tonight, it's going to balance out, and I'm going to shit the bed.
You... You start to practice a little more with the technique of it, and there are certain spells now that you're going into becoming more understanding of how things shift from you weave-wise into another individual, being able to kind of see the way that magic moves and kind of feel it as it goes along, especially being as someone as mechanically arcane gifted as you are. You now go into the casting into something and watching it separate. You have a few people come in, and when it comes to things like chromatic orb and stuff like that, you watch as they cast into it, and you watch as the magic moves into that and then dissipates out of it. And you realize that as it goes in, the reason why it comes out is because there is an overpowering of it and it needs to be released. So you kind of take notes down and you start to practice a little bit on your own. And you get to a point where you're close to getting it where you can get a spell maintained in something, and have the power so that it has, no matter what the spell is, you can hold it and kind of keep that energy in space. And your next step is going to be trying to figure out more specifically how to take that energy and move it into something else via kind of like the same. You've now got two parts of a very large equation that need to be combined to create a larger part of that equation. But you're getting there, and that's around the time when Kyron comes gets you and talks about the fact that Zinnia is starting to not feel good. So, but
Okay. Yeah, I probably needed a break anyway.
you've missed a couple nights of sleep, but you've gotten it back over time because you've just been so exhausted that you were like, I've fallen asleep.
How do you spell what is it? Halls of Bombadan?
Halls of Bombardier. So it's BHAN or BHON, sorry. BHON BADIR.
If anyone's worried about my dice tray, it seems to be okay.
Thank goodness.
Hell yeah.
Super happy. If you need my Bix number 4, I have it in here somewhere.
It's a little bubbly, but that'll dry. I've accidentally dropped water on it before, and it's been okay. So
I've somehow not dropped anything in mine, and I am super surprised. I should probably knock on wood. My brother got me.
well, the problem is my drink is right above where I keep the dice tray.
Yeah.
So there's that.
When we move, I'm gonna see if I can give you one of the larger desks. That way, if you can fit it. I know your room's a little.
I have no room for a desk, but I will take a desk for when I move.
You gotta start working vertical. You gotta get a bunk bed desk
Yeah.
to go above your other thing.
Yeah, we were talking about building a PC for you.
Considering that.
I'm talking about building a PC for you, but there's wall-mounted PCs. We can just like splay all the parts out there and just like make it a weird like conglomeration of pieces that make a working PC. I've seen it.
Yeah. So
I'd like to
Rustic
see you
take
find
on a
the
gaming
wall.
PC.
yeah. Computer. All right. So
Right back, I'm gonna go remake my drink.
I don't remember if we had talked about that place at all last time before we left, and I don't know if Gideon was there for any of it because I'm pretty sure they had found all that out when they were in Saber.
They did. I think you guys had a brief conversation about it, but the only thing you know about it is that it's about a day and a half's travel south, and somewhere within the southern Penumbra range. I don't think you got much more information on that, unless you did talk to the Heart of the Tree, so you may have gotten a lot of more information on it, and I may have just not had it. Which is possible, which if you want to read over the information, I can give you a little bit more now that I've had a little bit of time to write more on it.
At some point during all of this downtime, I'm gonna just either go over to Zaz or sending Zaz and be like, hey, buddy, you know anything about the halls of Bombardier? Might need to make a trip.
I don't believe I've been there personally, but let me see what I can find out. I'll say within the midweek range, you ask that, and about a day or two later, you get a small like packet of information on it, which kind of goes alongside with the information that you already have in your the book that you guys got. So the Halls of Bombardier were created by, lo and behold, a dwarf named Bombardier, who was an offshoot of one of the families of Uvnin, after being tired of kind of like the general layout of the city and the amassing of silver that it had. He was interested in finding more things and trying to delve farther south, stopping through Ambrosia for a while to pick up some of the miners who were of the same mentality, wanting to move from coal mining that pretty much permeated the area until recently, and kind of made his way down there. It was a mostly dwarven society, and the back ends of the halls, which you guys are given like a base map of it. It's built into the mountain, and it kind of builds down into the ground, multi-tiered. But the back end of it was a completely like dwarven society, while individuals after a specific time were able to come in and stay at local inns that had opened up in the area. The majority of the time it was saved for only dwarves. It saw vast success in the gem business for a while, which led to some arcanely involved individuals making their way there, specifically dwarven individuals, and was thought to have been one of the main factors of one of the main small hubs of the mechanical and magical kind of boost over the past couple centuries. Until like, I think it like 300 years ago, it just kind of fell off the map. People stopped traveling there because they weren't welcome. And then written history past that just kind of disappears. Some people say that something happened and there was some kind of cave-in that killed everyone. There's people who say that the halls, they reached a specific point in their mining and it became haunted. People say that they happened upon some deep underground aberration and all became enslaved by it. There are so many accounts that it's not really, there's no real true nature of it. But the one thing's for certain is that no one goes there anymore, and hasn't been written about or heard of in a couple centuries.
So it's either totally empty and totally fine, or it's absolutely fucked.
It was a big deal for a while. Like, it went through your reading, you do realize that there were a number of individuals, like a number of generations that went by. There was a forge there. There was, I mean, it was a very, being where it is on the map, it was a pit stop between the very, very, very heavily magical society that was Jai, and the very, very heavy Forge Divinity side of the map, which was Uvnen. It was kind of a centerpiece for both, which is why it was so it did so well. Again, it was reserved mostly for dwarves until a point, but and the map that you see shows you an entrance hall that leads down into just a general mess hall area with food stands and such, and an inn area that had a couple seemingly built into the rock inns for people to stay. And then past that, there was a large market that people could go into within the mountain. I mean, it was, for all intents and purposes, maybe like a quarter of the size of Uvnen, which is a pretty big city. So,
looking at the map, does it look like there'd be any place that we might be able to come in from above?
no. And that was one of the main points of it. It was highly defensible. There was one way in and one way out, unless you wanted to try and find your way through the maze of tunnels in the mines.
Fuck no.
But no one knew where the
lost.
Yeah. No one knew where the mines ended and started. They just knew that there was a start to the mine in the city, and they would go down specific places and start to kind of just spiderweb out from there. The mines actually don't even show up on the map. It's basically like a cutoff of what seems to be 2 tunnels, and it just says 2 mines.
2 mines. Okay. So, we should probably get more healing potions before we leave. I am flush out. How's everybody else doing?
See, I've got.
Oh yeah, I should probably get some.
I'm not sure actually. I've got I rummaged through my bag. Oh yeah, no, I'm also flat out. So yes, more healing potions would be very nice.
Okay. With a new supply of things coming in after the holiday, as many things do, and with the start of the new year, there are a few places that are flat out sold out. It seems that post-winter, a lot of adventuring parties decide to go out and adventure. Crazy thought.
That's fair.
But there are a few places that have kind of kept up stock. There's about 4 regular healing potions that you can scrounge about through town at normal price. Prices aren't inflated at this point. 2 greater healing potions, and there actually is 1 superior healing potion in town. It is in town still because it is pricey, but should you want to spend the money on it, it is available.
How much is pricey?
How pricey is
I
pricey?
gotta think off the top of my head what the price on it is, because it's 50 for each regular healing potion.
Mm-hmm.
It's, I think I made it 250 for the graders. So for the superiors, I'll say probably cost about 750 gold. Is the only one in town, and it was made expressly because the individual thought that there would be more adventuring parties interested in it. But
I'm buying it.
okay.
I'm doing it.
You have that much money?
I've died too many times. I've been saving my money.
Yeah, I have like 1,000 gold right now.
He's like that player that goes down into like the
have
mines and like dies each time but
400.
never loses any money. So he's like, I'm fucking stacked.
Yeah.
I have 400, and that's it.
There was a time when you guys each had like 3,000 gold. I'm not mad. I feel
No,
like
I
there
never
was.
had that. I've
I've
never
topped
had
out at
that.
maybe 1,500.
Nah, I've never had that.
Gideon,
I've
how
I've
much
been
money?
under
much
I've been
money do you
under
have?
I've been under 1,000 the entire time you've been playing.
I have
I've got
1,000.
like 2,000 gold, baby.
I have 1,093.
Yeah, but you also
spent
you're a
nothing.
trust fund baby.
I also spend that money like on stupid shit.
Yes, you do. Grape
I
ice
saved
cream
my
and
money
stuff.
for when I need it.
Oh,
Like
sorry,
right
not
now.
grape ice cream. Milk at bars.
Need to not die. Need that not die juice.
All right, so you said 4 regulars. How
also
many graders?
2.
Any
2 graders, and the graders are
Forever.
250 each.
It's true. You guys haven't looted anything or anything like that. What's up?
Yeah, because we keep fighting fucking ghosts. How much gold are you gonna find on a ghost, Wheeler?
Ghost gold.
Exactly. That I can turn in at my ghost
Oh.
bank.
Ghost gold doesn't exist.
My ghost. Well, yeah, but apparently ghost turtles do.
Doesn't
I
exist.
forgot to tag Jeremy Crawford. I have to ask him.
How much is a grader?
Grader is
Two-
250.
250.
So there are 2, so it's
How
500.
much?
500.
If
for
you
the
want to
2
buy the
graders,
whole
and then-
lot, it is 1,450 because there are 4 regular, 2 grader, and 1 superior.
He's already bought the superior.
So it's 700 for all the rest.
That superior.
Yeah.
That superior was what? 750.
750.
How much do you have?
670.
Doing it.
Okay. Do you want? I'll buy the 2 graders if you want to buy the 2, all the rest of them.
Okay.
Okay. Goodbye.
Yeah, I have
Half
colors
of
on
my
body.
gold.
I'm not gonna buy anything.
Okay. You guys
Also,
good
I
on
don't have the money for it.
diamonds?
Yeah, I still have a diamond.
Question mark. Okay, you got a diamond.
I think I still have a diamond.
Is that it?
Okay.
I have a diamond worth
No,
500
it's the regular
and a
one.
diamond
The one that
worth.
doesn't say anything. Just type the word healing.
How much was the second one?
Huh?
You said 2.
300.
300, and what was the first one?
What the fuck are you doing?
500.
500. Okay, so you have 1 for each spell level.
Yep.
250 for the greater.
Why can you not see the regular one?
There is a potion of dark vision available if anyone wants it. As you guys are like basically over a day having a shopping day going through town. It does seem that with the new year, new mandates came in with the usage and selling of magical items. It seems that there are far less on the shelves, and the ones that are on the shelves are far less powerful. Asking around, you talk to some very disgruntled shop owners. The Mageocracy in Jai, as well as the High Mages Guild in Locus, discussed over a council meeting the fact that there have been a 300% increase the past year that you guys were just in the deaths via powerful magical items either failing, being used inappropriately, or being used by the wrong individuals. So much like, the US should do, they're putting a limit on what can be sold of weapons of mass destruction.
Sensible.
So it'll be a lot harder.
Background check on Fireball. Wand.
Yes. Background check on fireball arms. Now, it doesn't mean you still can't find them if you go through specific venues, but I will let you know that it is going to be, 1, a lot harder to get things, and 2, it will be a lot more expensive to get things commissioned, because there are now permits that need to be had in order to create weapons that are much more powerful.
So steal our magic items. Got it.
Nobody's told Gideon he needs a permit yet. He'll be damned if he gets one.
Oh, you're not selling them. It's if you're doing commission pieces. Like, hey, good sir, I don't know how to make a weapon of certain death. Can you make it for me? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to need a permit, so that'll be 4,000 gold pieces, please.
Is there anything else we think we need? I think we're set with healing potions. I'll double check on my spells to see what would be appropriate to start preparing once we get in there.
Okay.
Probably just my usual shtick, But I don't know if we don't have enough information to figure out what sort of enemies and threats might be present. But I don't know.
I'm just saying, I think if there's only one way in and out of this place, we try to do our best to just kind of slip in without being noticed. See if we can use anyone's abilities to kind of point towards things. Where's Ashter? Where the hell is Ashter? He can use his twig thing to try to look for that flower. Just make a beeline for
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's a good idea.
In and out.
Astra's
We
around.
don't disturb the nest of 300 beholders. And we're fine. Nobody dies. End of story.
Okay, well, I mean, we can probably head out whenever then. The balloon's fine. Doesn't need any repairs or anything.
Yeah.
If we know the general direction, I think we can just
Nice.
go.
You do know the general
it's
direction
fast
based
as-
off of what you've done. So, like with between what you guys have
Sounds like a
seen
good
and
plan.
worked on, the map also in the information that you guys had doesn't lay out like a map of the exact route to get there, but there is a general kind of like if you go this way, this way, this way, this way, and then kind of gives you like landmarks to look for. This is for ground travel, but
Yeah.
if that's the way you guys are going, then
Are there any landmarks obvious enough to see from a balloon?
there's a couple. One of them is like a specific patch of trees that, based off what it looks like, there is a slight overhead sketch of it. You gather that they, at a certain point, they were like, there might be wizards flying in, so we might as well put something in for this. So there is like a patch of trees, but as you get closer, most of them are in because it is within the mountain range. Like it's not going to be hard to see the doorway, which there is an elaborate view of it in closed fashion. It's got like very, very Nordic, like Norse curves, and looks to be like battle horns and two dwarves like blowing into them.
We need to see if we can buy a spyglass, because that will be helpful,
Okay.
since we'll be looking at stuff from afar.
You throughout the day that you go shopping, very easy to find a spyglass. There is also a spyglass that is a little bit more expensive. It's about, say, 150 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But it, when used, it gives you advantage on perception checks looking through it. Kind of like a, what is it, the eyes of the eagle kind of thing, but specifically for when the spyglass is opened
Sure.
and you're looking through it.
What's the price difference there?
Between the regular and the
Well, what are they?
the magical one's 150, just because it is. The regular one's only about 5, because it's just a spyglass.
We'll go magical. Fuck it. Goodbye, 150 gold.
You gather that, again, as you guys kind of walk through, you guys do kind of see inflated prices. Potions are less of an issue. It's more of the magical items themselves. And as you do walk through, you do notice that a lot of the prices are inflated. You gather because a lot of the stuff is off the shelves, they have to make up that money elsewhere. So until they kind of get used to what's going on, they're going to inflate some of the prices. But
All right, I think I have everything. If anybody still need anything?
I'm all set.
I don't think Astra needs anything.
Everybody got their food packed? Got snacks? Water bottles? Hydro flask?
Hydro flask.
Phone, wallet, keys?
Phone, wallet, keys. Phone, wallet, keys. It is so hard finding
Everything I need, I got my
phone, wallet, keys.
I mean, I'll start fueling up the balloon
Phone,
then.
wallet,
Okay.
keys, mask.
What time of day do we want to leave?
Yeah, you guys can. At this point, it's probably about midday, so you guys can either wait through the night or start ASAP.
Because it says day and a half. Is that normal travel time?
That is normal on foot travel time. It may not be as quick, just because you are going to have to,
Slow down to start searching for stuff?
maneuver through the mountains. I would probably say a day at most.
Is that including Zinnia speed for control winds?
Uh,
That's if I can maintain control.
Oh,
of this.
fuck, you're right.
yeah. That and again, it gets kind of harrowing within the mountains because it's like quick shifts sometimes. So it may not be wise to do that, but
All right.
it's
well,
going to be about a day. I will say that.
What do we say? Wait for morning?
I'd rather approach the creepy, potentially haunted mine when it's right outside.
Yeah, being able to actually see it would be kind of nice.
So, do we want to just give ourselves a little bit more leeway and like get up a bit before dawn?
You guys can also sleep while you're
For me.
there, if that's what you choose to do.
Yeah, we can leave really, really early, like later at night, still early morning, because I know the area around here well enough that, you know, that won't really be a problem.
You guys haven't headed south before, which is
Yeah, but I mean,
kind
like
of
the
ironic, the
immediate,
amount that you've traveled.
the immediate like area.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just thought about it, and I was like, you guys have literally only, besides Ashter, all of you have only been north of Ambrosia.
Yeah.
You guys have never been south before.
In my mind, we were always on like the southern tip, so I kind of forgot there was more stuff.
Oh, there's a lot more stuff. There's a very large swampland. There's the beginnings of
whoops.
there's the beginnings of a jungle at the south. Yeah, there's a lot.
I mean, civilization. Like
There's civilization
that stuff,
south.
that stuff, it's monsters to death. There's monsters and death that way.
Astra's
Brian has no
hometown is
interest
that
in
way.
Like I said, monsters and death.
Yeah, you got a point.
No, not the ruins. His
Also
actual
maybe-
hometown.
So sorry.
Okay. So you guys prepare, get things ready, strap in, armor on, sleep a little bit, and then get onto the balloon the next morning and begin to head out.
We're on the way.
Yeah. And because this is going to be a shorter session, we're going to go ahead and take a break there. Maybe Ben will join us on our way back. But thank you for joining us so far. Please stick around to see where these crazy people go. And we'll be back shortly. See you soon. And welcome
I'm
back,
so glad
everybody.
that wasn't on camera.
That's all good. All right, so I did forget to mention something. Thank you, Words, for reminding me by doing it. If you subscribe through Twitch Prime, don't forget you got to do that each month. Obviously, if you would like to, we would appreciate it. Again, we're trying to come up with more content specifically for subscribers, so that way there's a reason rather than just helping friends out. But yeah. So for those of you who weren't here for the first half, the party has taken a well-deserved break and is now headed towards a place where the last piece of a puzzle to solve a blood curse seems to lie. So, as you guys wake up, step into the balloon and begin to ascend, headed southward this time, beyond what the map shows. You rise to the point where you start to get above the rain clouds and past the general vicinity of Ambrosia, and begin your day's journey ahead. Who would like to take the first part of the day to get things going for the group?
Me, and I want to use my new spyglass.
Okay. So with you helming it, kind of maneuvering it and making sure that it's in the right area, go ahead and make a perception check through your fancy new eyeglass that gives you advantage.
This is good, because one of these is going to be garbage. That first one's a natural 9. And the second one is an 18. That's about right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
20 total.
20. With the new spyglass, obviously you do notice that you can't see things right around you. There is a limit to how far, it is out. But you do see decently clear skies ahead of you. Small amounts of clouds that are still sitting. The climate down here is a little bit more humid, so there are scattered clouds throughout the sky. But there aren't enough to make it uncomfortable for you to maneuver through. The first part of the day is rather comfortable. Not too bad. Give me a second to change this.
So, last time me and Astra rode by ourselves to come back down from Ghost Town, we actually didn't see anything on the way back. Like, we didn't get attacked by anything. But I feel like now that all of us are here again, we're definitely going to get hurt. Anybody want to put a pot on, like, what type of thing we're going to get, like, attacked by?
I've got 5 gold on harpies.
I'll do 2 gold on sky ghosts.
Damn, that's what I was gonna pick.
Ooh, sky ghosts. I like sky ghosts.
Well, now I have to pick a new one.
Better than mine.
Aster takes a gold out and goes, I have a gold on whatever ran into the first time we flew.
I don't know things in the air because
You literally turn into a thing that's in the air.
Well, do you want me to attack us?
That's fair. You could win the pot for yourself. You could just be
can
giant
I just
eagle.
throw all my money on me attacking us? Because I'll do it.
That's really messed up. Let's go big. I pick a dragon. 5
Okay.
gold.
Why would you do that?
Who wants to roll a d6 for me?
Me.
I say I haven't rolled below a 20 on a d20 tonight. My luck is going to run out. I'm not going to be the one rolling
A
this.
2.
It's a 2.
Off in the distance, you hear a band of harpies start to no. Okay. So as you guys are like sitting there and paying attention out to the skies to like see what's going on, I thought that was an 18. you guys are all paying attention, and there is a heavy, so much so that it knocks most of you up, hits the balloon from beneath you. This loud, heavy, like, that like pushes the bottom of the balloon up. The balloon itself stays where it is for a brief second, but all of you are like weightless for a second and then start to fall back down into it. You're not quite sure what it was. But I need everyone to make a dexterity check for me, except Fenris, because he's too big.
Dexterity check or dexterity save?
Astra's fine. Dexterity save, sorry.
Fuck.
Oh no, where's my pike dice?
11.
Okay.
There it is. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh.
I think my dex save is a plus something. What is it? What is it?
Oh, Rook doesn't need to
A
make one.
check or a save
Hmm?
check?
Rook doesn't need to make one either. He's heavy enough.
I forgot
Save.
to roll anyway.
So
That's a 17.
Oh, it's the same. So, 16.
16. Okay. Both of you get basically caught by Astra quickly and put on the ground. Zinnia and Gideon, you both are kind of teetering on the edge and start to fall off, but you do catch your hand and are now just hanging probably about a mile above the ground in the mountains off the side of the balloon. And you see below you what seems to be a now growing smaller and smaller large boulder. And from
That's a nice boulder.
that's a nice boulder. From about,
I like that boulder.
I'd probably say 200 feet down on the mountainside, scattering the two mountainsides that you guys are currently going through. There are about 5 giants that currently have boulders that are just like chucking them up at you. Now that you can see, one of them goes up and doesn't even nearly make it, arcs back down. Are you guys getting back into the balloon thing? Or are you guys just hanging?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm
No,
gonna
why
try to
would
get
we
back
hang
on the
around?
boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, this isn't the music for this, but yeah. One of them comes.
I want to hang for a bit. I want to get a better look.
Okay. What's your AC?
18.
Okay, give me 1 second. Zinnia, you jump back in. One of them goes up and actually kind of like at its arc. It's not too big. It's probably the size of about half of Rook, but it like arcs up, and at its arc, it kind of like masterfully it lands like on the edge of the boat tip and kind of sits there until the balloon starts to angle down and it tilts off, which unfortunately, Gideon, puts you in the direct line of one of the boulders that comes up. It is a 28 to hit.
Nah, that misses. Sorry.
Fortunately, it is slowed slightly because of the velocity.
Tough luck, giant fucker.
So you take a little bit less, but you do still take 17 points of bludgeoning damage. And I need you to make a strength save for me.
Oh, that's not gonna be good. Y'all, I have a +0 to strength.
Good luck.
Oh,
What's your roll?
7.
7. So as you get hit, there's a very weird sensation that hits you. And you realize very quickly that you are falling because you've lost your grip on the balloon. All of you are kind of like looking around, and you see the blue skinned hands holding on, you hear this heavy thud that slams against the side of the the balloon, and then you look back and the hand is gone. Gideon, you are currently free falling between the mountains. There's another boulder that hits the side of the balloon, and the furnace itself is starting to kind of shake a little bit, seemingly getting loose from its bolts. They are currently...
How far away is he?
He, at a falling rate, now is probably just about, if you can act, because this was all kind of one general round, he's probably only about 40 feet below the balloon, based on how it tipped. Turning him into what?
A bird.
A bird? Do you accept the spell being cast upon you?
It's unfamiliar.
It's up to you. You
So
can roll the wisdom
I
save.
have
or
to
not.
resist just because I don't know what's going on.
Okay, roll a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, what's your
against-
DC? Doesn't matter. It's a natural 4. so-
Okay. So as you try to resist it, you are thrust into the form of a bird and immediately are flailing, falling, but kind of start to right yourself and begin
What's my
flying.
bird stats?
What kind of bird do you want him to be?
Eagle. Smart bird.
You are an eagle.
Wow. Nice one.
So
I gotta check my intelligence here. Hold on.
a blue tinted eagle.
Intelligence of 2, my dudes.
Shit!
Nice.
I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, you're just like bird.
I'm gonna try to flail out my wings to catch an updraft and start gliding so I'm not falling anymore, but that's about it. I don't know what else to do.
You can do that.
It's bird time.
When you're polymorphed, you do know friend from foe. That is part of it. So you do know, like, oh, those are my friends up there
Imagine
in
if
that
he
large
did.
thing.
I
But
never
like,
know.
what would cause Bird Gideon to want to go to big scary balloon? It's painted black.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yes,
It's got grapes on it.
it does have grapes on it.
It's got grapes.
Ah,
on it.
yes, the
Yeah.
eagle's favorite
It's the
food,
grapes.
the grapes.
Bird, get in.
I don't know if enough Gideon is poking through for that to actually be appetizing.
As you guys go through, are you doing anything to try and get out of the way of these boulders? Because they are currently
Yes.
stalking up again.
Any of them get too close, I'm gonna try to Eldritch Blast them out of the sky.
Okay.
I'm gonna go look for food.
How far away are the actual guys?
They're about 200 feet below.
Can I do nothing?
I mean, if you want. Um,
I just realized that none of my spells are anywhere close to that, so never mind.
two of them do get somewhat close at alternating times. One of them is more on the mark than the other. And actually, so you can do what you would like, Brian.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like, any of those rocks get too close to us, I'm just like, try to just blast them apart.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your damage for him.
Am I rolling damage or?
I'll say, because it's a cantrip, just go ahead and roll a general charisma check. Just a d20 plus your charisma modifier.
General charisma check. Charismatic there's that Brian roll. That's a 7.
Okay.
Wait,
you-
luck. No, using luck.
Okay.
Using luck. I'm lucky. Lucky. I can use luck. I always forget that I'm lucky, and that's slightly better. That's a 12.
12. Okay. You do manage to brunt off the first one that seems to be closer to its mark. You take the first Eldritch Blast, and it barely moves it. you kind of focus the energy into the second one, and it does end up kind of just slightly tilting it off, and it does do an arc. It's kind of weird. You kind of push it off its course, and it kind of goes through, like, over one ledge and then over the other through the balloon area and falls back down. At the trajectory, you kind of follow it, and it does slam into one of the other giants down there, who then starts to kind of yell across the way and starts to, like, throw smaller boulders across towards the other one. The second one that's coming, you're going to try the same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like any boulders that get close, just like.
All right. Go ahead and roll another charisma check for me.
That's 15.
15. Okay. With that one was less on its mark, so you managed to use Eldritch Blast, and it actually just obliterates the boulder itself. You guys are about 3/4 of the way through this mountain pass. You're starting to get out of range of these boulders. Gideon, you are...
I'm gonna go look for like any prey that I can see on the ground. I'm just gonna be scanning.
Okay. Make a perception check.
I have advantage because I'm an eagle.
Yes, you do.
Ooh, okay. Natural 16, natural 18.
Okay. You do see way down in the distance in the valley, past the rather large individuals that are currently throwing rocks at whatever this big thing in the sky is.
Yep.
What looks to be like a rabbit that catches your attention. It seems to be just kind of slowly
Going for it.
Yeah, okay. So you guys, for those of you who are looking over the edge, you're like, we're kind of finally out of the fray. And then you look down and you see the large blue eagle just nosedive, like straight down. And with eagle speeds that equate to about 200 miles an hour, you rocket down. Once you get to a certain point, being an eagle and understanding the instincts, you silently can make an attack with advantage because you are surprising this creature that had no idea that you were on your way. If you would like.
+4 to hit. Reach 5 feet. 1d4 +2 slashing damage for talons. Ooh, not good. That's a big flat 10.
Well,
Oh, advantage because the
Yes.
surprise. That's even worse. It's a 3.
it's a rabbit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
It's
The
the best
rabbit's
thing
got an AC of like 5 at best.
5.
5 points. Yeah. You dive into this thing and catch it right in the neck. And as you pick it up and kind of poke at it to get it, it is limp in your grasp within a few seconds.
I'm a murderer, y'all. This is Gideon's lowest point.
This is the scene from that one Twitch stream where she goes, "Oh my god, that's the cutest thing I've ever seen," and then the air just goes through. It's just like you hear like there's just boulders falling, and this rabbit's like, "What the fuck is going on right now?" I don't know, whatever. I'm just gonna go for a nice little.
I'm gonna take it back to my nest to eat it.
Hey,
I
Bess.
don't have a nest, so I'm just gonna fly around with it.
Okay.
Yes, you do. Your nest is the
Is the balloon not your
balloon.
nest?
It is
Yeah,
not.
What the hell, man?
It's where your friends are.
It
You
is
know where your
not
friends-
nearly well decorated enough with straw and other twiglets in order to be a satisfying nest. I might have to build one anew.
Can I use speak to animals?
We're just gonna leave him here. We're just gonna keep.
Yeah, you guys
going.
just gonna
And
keep
we
going.
never saw Gideon
And that
again.
was the last two. Well, you never saw Gideon again until the hour passed and he had to fly to catch up with you.
No, you know how Animorphs works. If you stay in morph for more than the time limit, you're stuck there permanently.
Not this polymorph.
I started playing Gideon, but I ended playing Tobias, it turns out. That's one for all the Animorphs fans out
You can
there.
use speak with animals if you like.
I am not
It's a
near y'all. I
second
just
level?
want to say.
You can also like try to turn into an
I
eagle.
was about to say if I don't know if he would understand.
Yeah, you are for all intents and purposes an animal.
Ah,
You-
cool.
Speak.
I'm gonna attempt wild shape.
Okay. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Can I guidance?
That's a 19.
19 is fine. It still does take both
Never mind.
uses. But you manage to turn into a giant eagle, and jump off the edge and fly down.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
I'm just gonna
panicked.
get out there like flying and be like,
Yeah, this is
"Hey,
all your fault.
dummy!"
I have something to point out once this wraps up at some point that will make everybody laugh a whole lot, but we're gonna go with it for now.
Are you are you sure it's gonna make us laugh a whole lot?
It might. It's ironic.
This giant eagle comes up to you, and it's in eagle speaks to you.
Yeah, it says, "Dummy, we are your friends. Come with me, and you
If
will live." Yeah, your intelligence is not that high though.
Hey, yo, stupid.
Hey, yo, bitch.
You're cool. You understand me.
I do. But
Can I take him down?
Sure, you can attempt to
Wait,
attack her.
I'm
if you
a
want.
giant eagle, technically, right?
Yeah,
what
you
you
can-
yeah,
said.
you're literally
I am
like bigger
larger
than me.
you.
You
I
could
could
grapple
just
if you wanted
drag
to.
you back to.
If you make me lose this rabbit that I just worked so fucking hard for,
If you want to go ahead and make an attack roll.
this is the one thing I care about right now, and if you ruin this for me, I'm gonna
17.
fucking
17.
lose it.
You do grasp the
Yeah,
eagle,
you grapple me, you fucker.
you grasp the eagle and the rabbit and fly back up
Can I take the rabbit away?
if you want to.
Fuck you.
Oh man. Okay.
As soon as he's back in the balloon, I just boop, drop it.
Okay.
I had fly prepared this whole time.
Hey,
Your
and now you can use it when you fall out of the balloon a second time.
your mouth has a little bit of like an iron flavor, but not like your own. It's weird. You also are, for some reason, trying to grasp a dead rabbit with your shoed foot, like desperately. You don't realize it until you start to feel like a cramp. You're like, ah! And you look down and there's a rabbit there.
Worth it. Worth
Stepping
it.
on a rabbit.
Why is there a...
Hey, we can cook that. Thanks.
I would just like to point out that for once in the middle of this game, Gideon was not the smartest person in the room.
Hey, you want to remember one of Gideon's really early features that we haven't had to deal with in a long time? He doesn't do well with blood.
Oh yeah, make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy, that's 11 plus 2 is 13.
Yeah, you guys watch as Gideon gets like.
Can I?
Can you what?
No, go for it. You go.
Okay.
first.
You guys watch as Gideon like gets up for a second and starts talking, and you guys are all kind of laughing for a second, and then Gideon just faints in the balloon.
Can I try to catch him?
Sure. It kind of sways the balloon a
So he
little
doesn't
bit.
hit his head.
Yeah, you're fine. You can kind of cradle his head down into it. Astor also goes,
I'm gonna go skin this rabbit.
yeah, you guys can. Astor actually goes, yeah, so I had this actually like made because I specifically thought about something like this happening. Maybe not just like this, but and he takes like a small metal grate out and he kind of opens the furnace and he puts it in and it actually like sits in the furnace. So you could like cook something on top of it.
Nice.
Is
Sometimes
that
you're
for the
very
smart
smart.
one today?
That's the only one he gets. That's the DM's gift.
I had Fly prepared the entire time, y'all.
I knew you did.
I had it handled.
All right. As the
Sometimes you just want to save your friend.
as the second half of the day continues on, who would like to
So
take the
funny.
next the next portion?
Gideon's asleep. He's not doing it.
I was about to say, I don't know how
As
much.
you guys slow down slightly, and Ashter hooks himself in and starts to look at some of the damage that was done. The wood's a little splintered. You might need some small repairs on it, much like cannonballs going onto a ship. But he says, other than that, there's not too much of hull integrity problem. You guys do notice that when you go down into the underneath area, there is a probably 2 foot by 2 foot, or a 2 foot diameter irregular circular area that is a little bit like gives a little bit when you put some weight on it. You gather that's where the initial boulder hit, but Kyron, you said you were going to take the second one? Or
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
I'm dropping things tonight, y'all. That wasn't great. Hold on. Oops, wrong tab.
Dropping hot boars.
That is a. It's only a 14.
14? Okay. As you guys are going, not being accustomed to the climate, with Gideon fainted and the general area, while you guys are used to the more somewhat northern and central regions of Lunaria, the south's a little bit different, and you miss a jet current that's going across where you are, and it actually kind of it throws you off because you feel like you're getting attacked again, because it pushes the balloon towards the mountain, and it takes you guys a decent amount of energy and time to get it off, and by that point the balloon's kind of spun around a bit, and you lose a bit of time. Not too much to make it an issue, but you do lose some time before you get back on track and start to get closer into the late afternoon area. But past that, if anyone would like to take the last one, I'll say, Gideon, by this time you can wake up to the smells of freshly burned, or cooked, I should say, rabbit. If anyone wants to make,
We didn't burn it. I was paying attention.
if anyone wants to make a performance check for cooking, you
I'll do
can.
it. I was the one awake. That's an 18 plus. You said performance? 19.
Yeah,
Total.
19. It is not burnt. It is well cooked. You actually, as gross as it is, you pick off some of the farther ends from the fur pieces of herbs attached to Fenris, and get some from Ashter's reserve pack of smell good stuff, and season it well, and you guys wake up for a decent dinner. It's comfortable. The air is a little bit warmer. It's obviously cold up here because of the latitude, but or altitude, not latitude, altitude. But the last part of your travel, so to seem, is now ahead.
Yeah, so did you put I don't think any of us had put giant as what we bet on.
Yeah, no, not really.
Mm-mm.
So nobody wins, nobody loses. Just
Yeah, I think we
wash?
keep all our gold. Anybody want to put a bet on first thing we to get attacked by when we get in?
Yeah, I'll say, you know what? I'll go with the big one. Let's go Mind Flayers for 5 gold.
Let's see. I'm thinking. Let's see. I think. No, those dwarves have gone crazy. I say crazy dwarves.
For how much?
Not that confident on it. 3 gold.
See what do you got?
I don't know what lives in a mountain. I'm gonna go with giants again.
That's fair. I'm gonna stay with the dragon. 5 gold.
Aster takes his gold piece and goes, I lived with dwarves for a while. I'm gonna say probably some stupid mechanical bullshit. Puts it down. Goes back to Fenris.
That's fair.
I thought he was gonna go with Sky Ghost again, so
Yeah, I was really hoping for some sky ghosts, but
I
maybe
can still
next
throw them
time.
at you if you want.
Nah, I'm good, thank you.
All right.
It's already 9 o'clock. I'm good.
We can only do Sky Go at 8:30 at the latest.
Yeah, 8:30 at the latest. We gotta have time to defeat the Sky Ghost, all right? We gotta have time to turn them into Sky Ghost turtles. All right, who wants to take the last bit of this?
Oh, it's all good. It's a fun little game I have going on.
the headphone splitter keeps dropping off the table.
This layout, sometimes I wish you guys could see it on stream. It is as ramshackle as they come, and I'm doing my best.
Yep.
All right, who wants to take the last leg?
Oh, I've been kind of rested up.
Okay, go ahead. Perception check.
That's right, Kimmy. Roll around the Chex Mix.
Won't judge. That is a 24.
Fuck
24.
you.
Well enough, and kind of better understanding the general nature of wind and things, having been controlling it for a while. Even now, still, the cold's helping numb the pain a little bit, so you have a bit of a clear thought, even though the oxygen is down. But you maneuver through the last bit till you guys get to the point where you have to get farther down into the mountains, seemingly off in the distance, seeing what seems to be the lowering and hill gathering of the edge of mountains. As that comes about, Gideon, most of you, all of you who looked at the map, recognize that the mountains are starting to diminish in size, and it's probably about time that you guys lower and get closer into the mountains to see what you can find within. So as you do so, if you would like to make a perception check with your fancy schmancy spyglass.
Oof. First one's a 3. Second one's a 13. So it's 15 total.
It does take some time, and you guys are now well into the dark of the night as you move across. It is very hard to tell what things look like, especially gray stone on grayscale tones in dark vision. But what does catch your eye is an irregularity as you kind of are sweeping across in a very interesting grid back and forth along the mountainside. You do see off in the distance, probably about, with the spyglass, probably about a quarter mile off to where you guys are currently heading, down to the right, what looks to be a out-pieced archway that seems to have something on it, like a little bit of snow, and there seems to be a weird draft that you can tell coming out of it. that might be what you're looking for.
I have no idea how to picture what you just described. Because you used, I don't know what outpieced means, and I'm really trying.
Like outcropping of stone.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm very weird with words.
I'm not terribly sure. I'm gonna wait till we get a little bit closer because we're already heading that direction.
Yeah, as you guys start to head that direction, and it does take you a little bit more time, you're now getting close to what you would gather is probably 10 o'clock at night. You do get a closer look at it now, and it does seem to be a archway with a very large set of doors for... I mean, you obviously, all of you understand how small dwarves are. This is a rather large door for dwarven make. It seems to be standing at least 15 feet tall from what you can tell, just based off of the general math that your brain works at. One of the doors is currently on the hinge. The other one is, the top hinge seems to have broken off and is currently kind of leaning inward.
But it's set into the mountain, right?
It is set into the mountain, yeah.
We were supposed to be looking for large doors, right? Like big fancy carved ones?
There does seem to be like a pathway. It doesn't go up the mountain anymore, but it does seem to go down the mountain and kind of curve around and then go down into the valley and back towards near where the mountains end.
Because there's a set of doors this way. It might not be the right ones, but it's the only ones I've seen so far. Astro, you're not turning the balloon. Turn the balloon.
Turns the balloon, and you kind of slowly maneuver it downward to where you guys are now eye level with it. It's not lit. It is dark. There are no interior lights coming from where the kind of crack in the doorway is.
Is there anywhere safe to set the balloon down and, like, tuck it away to where, like, it's not super visible from the air?
Yeah, you could. I would say if you spent a little bit of time, you could probably get it along the mountainside and covered up. I mean, there is a large pathway that kind of leads slightly up the mountain, so you could park it there. You could park it down the mountain and walk up. I mean, it's really up to you.
Let's not get too close to the doors, just in case we need to make a rapid escape. And we want to be able to break through, like, the tree line and get away. So, let's go a little bit farther down.
Okay.
A couple 100 yards, maybe quarter mile, whatever we need to do.
Yeah, you can go down. It's like I said, it's a long, like, stone pathway down the mountain. There's not really trees or anything in this general area, but you guys can get down it and then land it. There is a, like, where you guys landed, there is no snow because it's gotten to an altitude where it's just not comparable. The wind is still there, but it doesn't give you too much of an issue. As you land, there is that soft, like, as the wood hits, and creaks a little bit as it sits. But you guys land it, and you can take however long you'd like to mask it, move it, and get ready to go.
I think, because it's already black, set up a sort of, like, pavilion tent. Sort of just let it drop flat as it deflates and, like, let it drape over everything else. So instead of being off to the side, it's just above it.
It is black, so it'll probably easily kind of meld into the stonework, especially at night. It might pop out a little bit during the day, but most things will stay away from it. So as you do get it to fall across both sides. Balloon is big enough, and it is comfortably kind of tarped over the actual ship of the balloon itself.
All right, I say we sleep here instead of going in tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with that.
So you guys take one final night to get prepared, rest up. The anticipation of possibly ending this long journey for you, Zinnia, which I mean really hasn't been that long with the group that you've been with, but definitely has been arduous. Seemingly coming to a close kind of makes sleep a little bit difficult, but you guys do find rest. Wake up the next morning to a bit of brisk wind, but the pathway lies before you.
Oh, I should probably take a long rest and get my hit points back.
Yes. Prepare any spells that you need to prepare. Seeing as I don't think you guys are doing anything else, you guys walk up the mountain pass to the doorway. The doors are a match to what you saw in the book. Again, the one on the door on the left is stationed within and sits on its hinges well, seemingly, while the one on the right seems to kind of been flattened in at the top with a small little crack, maybe big enough for you gather maybe like something the size of like a kobold to crawl through. There's a large knocker on the door, but what do you guys do?
We're definitely not knocking. One of them's already like leaning off, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just gotta pull that bitch open.
Okay. It is
Yeah.
a stone door that is 15 feet tall and from what you can tell about 2.5, 3 feet thick.
Astra has himbo strength. He's a
I'm
20. He is
strong.
23. I don't give a fuck.
You're strong. That's like a 2-ton piece of rock.
Wait, what are we trying to do?
Open a door.
Let me live my life. Let me live my life.
The most classic. It's. Let him try first.
All right, give him a try. See if he can just manhandle it open.
Guidance.
I'll just roll them at the same time. He has a +6 to strength. Is it athletics or just? Because athletics is pushing, pulling, lifting,
This
or
would be an
running,
athletics.
jumping, swimming. I don't remember which one.
I'd say
You got
based
this,
on
buddy.
how this works,
No, yeah, it's running, jumping, swimming.
it's
so
just
this is
a
just
strength.
Yeah, it's just strength. Oh, okay. 16 plus 3 plus 6. So 16 plus 9, 25.
25. Yeah, with the way the hinge is, he finds the right leverage between the guidance that Kyron gave and with your kind of help kind of showing where the leverage is. He finds the right spot. It wasn't locked to begin with, it didn't seem. It wasn't trapped either, it didn't look like. Or if there was a trap, it was probably disarmed when the door fell off its hinge. But he kind of picks it up as he's moving it with the leverage, and he does, like, you hear a heavy, like, of stone against stone as it's scraping against it. And it's oddly compounded in this very eerie way as the sound echoes past where the door is endlessly, and like 30 seconds later comes back. It's very weird and creepy. But as the door opens, the small amount of light that is, and as well as snow and small pieces of just general debris kind of blow in from the wind outside. You guys kind of adjust to the lighting in here, and you guys see what seem to be large pillars that are weight bearing going down in a row straight down to what seems to be a large, long dead hearth, like very large, probably about 20 feet in diameter, in the center of the room, to what look to be small, maybe like 6 to 7 foot tall sheer faces that lead to landings with it looks to be just bits and pieces of things. What looks to be some kind of like altar or speaking station, tables that are flipped and turned over, crates and boxes that are smashed, rotting, and in various states of decay, unlit sconces on the walls. And as you guys kind of walk in, it's like quiet, like dead quiet. And that eeriness and uncanniness is compounded by the fact that there are seemingly dozens of defaced dwarven statues that stand right at the edge of, not on the landings, but in front of where these 6-foot sheer faces are. There are statuettes of dwarves you can only assume are of times past. And as you kind of get near where the hearth is, it smells of it still smells of like ash and fire. And you look forward and see 2 large, vandalized and cracked in places, pieces of it lying on the floor, statues of some individual that you don't recognize, and a tunnel leading forward. And that's all you see.
When you said those statues were defaced, was that like natural crumbling, or like graffitied, or like smashed?
Make a perception check.
Oh, my spyglass won't help me here.
Nope.
14.
14. It's a little bit of both. Most of it looks like it was vandalized by hand.
With that roll, I probably can't tell like how tall the vandalizers were, like where the general like height limit is. Probably,
No.
yeah, definitely not with a 14.
No. But as you guys sit there, the wind is silent. Behind you, it starts to get quiet. There is no air in here. But the last thing you feel that kind of sends a shiver down your spine is this like waft of semi-hot air that comes from the tunnel ahead of you. And that's where we're in tonight's session.
There's a dragon in here. Please tell me, 'cause that means I'll win 5 gold.
Hey, doggin. Yep.
There's a dragon in here. You have to tell us.
That's what we're going to pick up next time. I know it was a shorter session tonight, but that's because this is going to probably end up being a little bit longer of sessions for the next couple times. We are taking a break next week. I will not be here, and unfortunately, not to toot my own horn, but this game can't run without me. So we will be taking a break next week, but we will come back the week after.
I mean, we could try, but I don't think it
Yeah.
would work very well.
So we find nothing except what we need in this cavern place, and then we leave. That's it. But yeah, we'll pick up a couple weeks from now. I know we just took a break. I just wanted to get back in the chair, so I appreciate you guys sticking around with us. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you very much. Trying to get more people to share our stories with. So if you know anyone who likes D&D or just likes to watch shenanigans happen, please have them join us. Follow the channel. It's free to subscribe if you have the money for it. Only if you have the money for it and you would like to. Don't forget to resubscribe with Twitch Prime. Be on the lookout seriously for new content that's coming like very soon. I am really excited for it. And you guys should be as well. We got an episode on Thursday, a mini painting, Sunday for Back in Stylus, and maybe Back in Stylus. Yeah, we'll have to see.
I want to, because I want to get back into it, but with Wheeler not being here, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. But other than that, we appreciate you guys very much. It's a new year. Thank goodness. Let the anxieties of last year pass away, and hopefully no anxieties come with this year. Tomorrow's a new day. We appreciate you, like I said, and we'll see you next time. So have a great night and enjoy it.
Bye bye.
Good night.